What's good, everyone? It's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today we're launching, we got pick 4, meaning we're taking Cooper Kupp. Nah, you know what? Screw it. We're taking Jamar Chase here. We're taking Jamar Chase, a guy I've been taking more and more at pick 4, and the main reason why I've been taking him is because this guy can drop a 50-point week. Not too many other players in the league can drop a 50-point week, so we're taking Jamar Chase here at 4. A guy I'm totally fine with taking at 4, even though there are times where he falls to 7. But anyways, guys, before I get into this whole video, please go down, drop a like, drop a comment, asking me any fantasy football related questions. Here to answer anything. I respond to any comment. So please go down, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another best ball draft video. Turn that notification bell on. With that out of the way, we got a pretty standard draft so far. Austin Eckler coming off the board at 6. I guess the only thing non-standard about it is Justin Jefferson coming off at 2. Wish could have had the third pick here. Would have gladly taken Jonathan Taylor here at pick 3. Doesn't happen, unfortunately. It is okay. Sometimes things don't fully break your way. We still end up getting Jamar Chase. Honestly, ending up in this top 5 just feels like a reward in itself. I'm fine with any pick, honestly, but pick 1 through 5 just feels so good because you know you're getting one of these top 5 guys. Pick 6 is fine too. Honestly, every pick. The only pick I really don't like is pick 9. Pick 9 stinks. Unless you end up with one of these, like Stephon Diggs or Eckler, or Derrick Henry. I feel like there is kind of a teardrop off there. I'm fine with Dalvin. I'm not mad with Dalvin, but it's not the same. Not too big on Najee. Oh, wow. Javonte Williams coming off the board at pick 13. Don't usually see that too often. Javonte is a very, very talented player. Yes, I think he will continue to go up these boards. But my concern with Javonte Williams is the fact that he's going to be splitting carries with Melvin Gordon. I think it will most likely be around a 60-40 split for Javonte. But it is possible that it ends up being something different. And if that's the case, then it kind of stinks. Right now, there are 4 guys on the board that we like. So if Aaron Jones comes off the board, we're guaranteed one of them. But I hope we can get a few more reaches here, personally. That would just be phenomenal for us. What's the news on Alvin Kamara? 3 touches in the preseason finale. Wow, take this guy with that, and don't look back. We're 3 picks away, though. Either of these 2 running backs would be phenomenal. I would gladly take either of them. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Saquon Barkley still being on the board at this point is pretty crazy. I'm sure he will be scooped here. Yes, he is. Austin Eckler and Saquon Barkley. What a combination. So we're most likely going to take Mark Andrews here. He's a guy, at this point, I really, really like. Yep, we are taking Mark Andrews here. Again, don't get why he's falling as far as he is. I'm fine with him here. I really, really am fine with him here. Not only am I fine with him, I'm pretty happy to get Mark Andrews at this point. But now we're eyeing down, potentially trying to get a running back, whether that be Leonard Fournette or Nick Chubb. Either one I would be more than fine with here. Really can't be too mad. It could come back and we don't get one of these guys, but because this guy might be trying to double up with good backs here. If not, I could even justify, honestly, taking James Conner here. I really, really like James Conner this season, and I'm sure the team combinations with these players are pretty unique. I'm sure there's not too many teams like that, so I may reach, depending on if Chubb is on the board or not. Also, if Tyreek Hill's on the board, I'll take Tyreek as well. Just get 2 awesome wide receivers. Not sure if he will be, though. Nick Chubb is off the board here. This guy, pairing up Nick Chubb and Justin Jefferson, pretty good stack right there. Can't be too mad about that. ZPP, he's got McCaffrey here. Let's see who he ends up taking. There's wide receivers on this board here. So probably going to be wide receivers taken here, I imagine. Highly experienced people, they love A.J. Brown. That's exactly what I was about to say. He does get taken here, so we do see A.J. Brown off this board. And Kyle Pitts, phenomenal player here. Kyle Pitts, absolutely awesome. So we're in a position where we could probably get Tyreek Hill here, potentially, or Mike Evans. As long as one of these 2 guys reaches, we're chilling. We are absolutely chilling. But this 303 pick has been absolutely insane. Jonathan Taylor, Leonard Fournette. And now he might end up with one of Mike Evans or Tyreek Hill. And if not, T. Higgins is fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Kyle Pitts, a guy coming off the board. Wow, James Conner. So he snipes us on our James Conner idea. James Conner, a guy I did like. We'll see who we end up getting here between Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill. I'm fine with either. Guess I'd prefer Mike Evans. because of the higher touchdown ceiling and the fact that he may be entering the offense with a hobbled Chris Godwin. And then, obviously, Julio Jones, very old. Russell Gage, not a guy you're worried about stealing too much serious volume. He's a pest, certainly. Mike Evans does come off the board, though. So we're going to be taking Tyreek Hill here. We got two guys who can drop us 50 points anytime they need. So I actually really like this team because on Week 17, if Tyreek and Jamar Chase both go off, it's hard to really see a team beating that because their ceiling is just so high. But now we're in a really, really good position where we can end up taking somebody at 45, like a running back, like a Breece Hall type character, someone like that. But there are still good wide receivers at 45, so we could stack up and just get some really, really good wide receiver play. Like, for instance, Hollywood Brown here would be really good because Hollywood Brown's another guy that can pop off and get 30 points for us, so we would just have a pretty ridiculous team. I don't think a guy like DJ Moore is going to be on the board here, though. There's pretty much no chance. But DJ Moore, I think DJ Moore is a really, really good pick. In this, not as much, but if you're in your redraft leagues, like in your home leagues, I think he's a mad good pick where he's going right now. Travis Etienne coming off the board, pick 32. I'm a little bit concerned. These running backs are coming off the board ahead of ADP, most of them. Leonard Fournette came ahead of ADP. Nick Chubb, James Conner, Travis Etienne. So it is a tiny bit concerning. I was the only one to go Mark Andrews. Otherwise, there was 5 running backs in a row coming off the board here. Kyle Pitts is a guy, again, that's been growing on me more and more. The talent is absolutely there. The situation, I mean, obviously, Marcus Mariota sucks. He's not a quarterback who you can rely on to actually produce for you. But at the same time, Kyle Pitts is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best players in the entire league, in my opinion, at age 21. He's a little younger than every single one of the tight ends who came out this year in drafts. He almost has the same birthday as me, actually, which is crazy. And the guy's in the NFL. So he's doing pretty well for himself. I do think Kyle Pitts is a pretty good pick where he is going. But at the same time, I think Mark Andrews is just, in my opinion, the best overall value on the board. Like, I love this Mark Andrews value right here. Because these 3 guys, I mean, I think Mark Andrews is probably the best of these 3, and he's going second out of these 3 guys, so I like him a lot. Here, I would really, really like Gabe Davis here. I mean, that would just be awesome. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Waddle's still on the board as well. The problem is we do have Reek, so it would be a little annoying having 2 players stacked like that, but it would raise our floor. The problem is I'd lower our ceiling, and that's not what I want. Oh my god, this guy's Josh Allen, so I'm assuming he's going to be taking Gabe Davis here. We still have Hollywood, though, on the board. We still have Breece Hall on the board. Zeke, I think, is a guy who's going to be dropping with the news that Tyron Smith is out for the season. I mean, I'm not taking Zeke. I was already low on Zeke, or lower on Zeke than consensus, and now with that news coming out, I mean, it's going to lower his overall efficiency. I don't trust that as much, because I think Zeke isn't a running back based on volume, but with his efficiency going down, that pretty much screws his overall volume a ton. This guy has... Yeah, he does go Gabe Davis here. So we're most likely going to be taking Breece Hall here. And then hoping a guy like Lamar falls to us in the next round. I think that's probably the best. Right, like a pro on the web. I'm good. We're most likely going to be taking Breece Hall here as long as Essential does not snipe us. He's got a pretty good core, though. So yeah, we're going to be taking Breece Hall here. And we do have... So this guy goes Rashad Bateman here. He is probably eyeing up this Lamar Jackson stack. We are probably going to be robbing that from him, as we do have Mark Andrews here. So we do want Lamar at pick 52. Most likely, Deontay would be a nice pick as well. But I think that would be a good idea to start getting these. Oh my god, wow. Look how many wide receivers in a row come off the board here. Holy crap. 11 wide receivers in a row from pick 33 to 44. Oh my god. That's crazy, but we end up getting sniped on that, so we do get Breece Hall here, which is good, because we get him at a slight value. Whether or not we end up getting with Deontay Johnson, I'm fine with that. Jalen Hurts comes off the board, a guy I do like, but he did want a pair of A.J. Brown. And Jalen Hurts does make sense. We get Kyler Murray off the board as well. Yeah, I'm going to be continuing this quarterback run here as long as Lamar isn't sniped. Because now, seeing 2 quarterbacks come off the board in a row, potentially 3 if Colts Life goes quarterback here. He doesn't have any stacks, but potentially if he does, we could be in a position where we're going to be causing a lot of mayhem going Lamar here. And it does put us in a little bit of a weird position because we already do have Mark Andrews. But I think overall, having these two guys is really, really good. I know Essential was probably about to go Lamar here because he wanted Rashad Bateman. But we don't let him get that. At 69, there are some wide receivers that I like. Deontay's fine. Deontay would have been the other guy I was considering there. But I do think quarterback's going to be making a run off this board here. I want Lazard in the next round here, most likely. I think Lazard in the next round will be absolutely beautiful. I think he's the best wide receiver in this range still. And he's coming off the board as the wide receiver 35. I see a case for him going as high as the wide receiver 24, honestly. That's how good I think Allen Lazard is. Or is at a value this year. Allen Lazard, 6'5", 220 pounds. This is going to be a guy who's a huge end zone threat, as we saw last season. On pace for 13 touchdowns last season. Guy is going to be an absolute beast this year. I'm calling it now. Take him in every single draft you can. He's one of the biggest sleepers. I think he's probably the biggest sleeper in all of fantasy football at this point. But here we do get these other two quarterbacks off the board, Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert, meaning that now we're in a position where we already have our quarterback. Some of these guys may be reaching here to try and get a quarterback. We may be getting a reach on Trey Lance, something like that. Not even a reach, honestly, on Trey Lance, but it is possible somebody does. I'm assuming this guy will be the one to do it because, he did draft 2 tight ends in a row. He's got a weird strategy, and he does have Kittle. So that's my guess as to who's taking Trey Lance here, but I don't know. Damian Pierce. Okay, this is just too high. The Damian Pierce, or Famian Pierce, is getting out of control. Absolutely. This is just too crazy for me. We're probably going to go A.J. Dillon here if A.J. Dillon's still on the board. Even though I do like Lazard. I actually really like Lazard. I think at this point we got to wait if we can get A.J. Dillon. It's just too much of a value. The thing is, I don't know if we're going to be able to get A.J. Dillon. A lot of these guys only have one running back. There are 3 players before us that only have one running back. I'm assuming Cam Akers. I prefer A.J. Dillon over Cam Akers straight up at this point. A.J. Dillon does come off the board here. Just because I'm concerned for the volume Cam Akers is going to be getting here. More and more it keeps coming out that Cam Akers will be in a timeshare. And at that point, I'm pretty scared. Really pretty scared about Cam Akers. Darnell Mooney comes off the board here. This has been a pretty abnormal draft overall. Cam Akers is a guy, though. At this point, if he's coming to me at pick 70, I probably should be taking him here. I don't even know, though. I'm a little... J.K. Dobbins comes off the board. I kind of hope he doesn't get to me, so that way I don't have to make the decision. But I think I was saying this about Antonio Gibson, and this is why I'm scared, but I think he has to be a value here. Even though I am nervous, Cam Akers will be splitting time. No, I can't do it. Dawson Knox, that's just a bad pick. We're probably going to go Lazard here. Yeah, we're going to go Lazard. I like Lazard a ton. We get our 3rd good wide receiver here. We're going to need to probably take Elijah Moore as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to double him up with Zach Wilson, a guy going pretty much in the last round. Because we already have a really pretty good quarterback here, so we're fine. Hopefully get Elijah Moore as well. Okay, never mind. It does make sense Elijah Moore's off the board, though. Ayuk, a guy who's been rising a ton. Makes sense, not hard to see why. Guy was pretty good to end the season last season, and he's been getting a ton of rumblings with Trey Lance here. Trey Lance still on the board? He is. Wow. Okay. If Trey Lance is on the board, I'll also take Trey Lance here. Fine with any of these guys. He doesn't come off he does come off the board here. I'm fine with Eli Mitchell. At this point, Cam Akers, I think, has to be a value. I'll probably end up taking him here. I take it back. That's pretty funny. Whether I got Drake London or Amari Cooper now, I think I'm slightly higher on Drake London because he's going to be getting most of the targets in this offense, probably. So I probably will go Drake London here. And he also does have Kyle Pitts alongside him. And their skill sets match so well. They're both like the same player, which is crazy. Both insanely huge builds. Big body type of wide receivers. Kyle Pitts obviously a tight end. But we're going to go Drake London here, even though we do have a pretty pressing need. at running back, we're going to have to figure it out at running back pretty badly. We actually need to figure it out at running back. We're going to hope that one of these guys drops to us, whether it be a Kareem Hunt or someone like that. I mean, if we could get a Chase Edmonds drop, a Clyde drop, or a Mondre drop, don't want Sanders. We just need a drop or two. I don't even really want Gibson there. I still have him behind this. I have him as a running back 38, so I just can't. A running back 39, actually. I just can't take him there. James Cook would be fine. I like James Cook. Patterson. But we pretty much need to get a running back, and it's good because, in this range, I really like the running backs over the wide receivers here. But I do think that because a lot of these guys have gone pretty running back heavy here, some of these running backs could end up falling. We could see a lot of wide receivers. Because I'm one of the few teams, I think I probably have the most wide receivers except for this guy. And this guy, I guess. There are a few teams that have more wide receivers than me. But we also have the most well-rounded team in the entire league. If Breece Hall ends up becoming an RB1 here, which he very well may. I went over it in a video, but his relative athletic score is absolutely nuts. This is a guy whose relative athletic score places him in the 99th percentile, ahead of guys like Jonathan Taylor, ahead of guys like Adrian Peterson. For crying out loud, this guy is built different. I don't use that word lightly. He is literally built different as a player. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal pick where he's going at this point, because rookie running backs who are drafted in the first or second round, they get that really high draft capital and are going to be the bell cow backs in an offense, almost always outperform their ADP. So I like Breece Hall a lot here. I'm really fine taking him. At this point, I guess I would probably prefer an ETN because of the pass catching profile. But I think either way it's fine. We still do have 3 guys on the board here, and we are 4 picks away. I'm a little nervous, though. I think we might get sniped here on at least 2 of them. I think we might get sniped on all 3, to be honest. We just need one guy to go Kadarius Toney here. We need 2 guys. We need Kadarius Toney and Chris Olave off this board. This guy has 5 wide receivers, but the guys who usually take 5 wide receivers, they like to go running back really late, so it is possible. Doesn't happen. This guy, he's already got 3 running backs, so he'll go. He will most likely go with the wide receiver here. Come on, please go with the wide receiver here. This guy, he's got Saquon Barkley and Austin Eckler here. I imagine he goes wide receiver, but anything's possible. That Dawson Knox pick was absolutely stupid, though. What the hell was he thinking? T.J. Hawkinson, let's go, boys. Kadarius Toney. I want Chase Edmonds here. I think Chase Edmonds will be off the board because this guy only has 1 running back. But it is possible he does go for the upside of Clyde. Come on, please give me Chase Edmonds here. Take a sip of water. Good luck, sip of water. And then we hope for Chase Edmonds. This guy could easily go Chase Edmonds, though. I'm going to set myself up. They probably will go Chase Edmonds here. Chris Olave. Wow. We get Chase Edmonds at a pretty massive discount here. Chase Edmonds, a guy I really like this season. A guy I was honestly considering taking here at 76. So getting him here at 93 is absolutely phenomenal. Now we just need to secure one more running back here. Whether it be Kareem Hunt or Clyde, I'm fine with either. Sky Moore on this board, he's going to be dropping. He's going to be dropping a ton. He's the wide receiver 5 in Kansas City right now. That's pretty scary to me. This guy I wasn't really targeting much this offseason anyway, so I'm fine with it. Clyde does come off the board here. But I was right on my prediction that running backs would start to fall. We did get a few running backs falling to us, which is fine. I'm good with Kareem Hunt here. I think Kareem Hunt's probably the best value here because his ceiling is just so high. I'm also fine going James Cook here. I don't know. I'm a little torn, honestly. I think I gotta go Kareem Hunt here. Because 1, if he gets traded, that's insane. That's absolutely phenomenal. But 2, Devin Singletary still exists. And this is going to be one of the most pass-happy offenses in the entire league. Whereas the Cleveland Browns are going to be one of the most run-heavy. Kareem Hunt's done it in the past. He's good receiving back, quality receiving back, and can do it on the ground as well. Was the running back 10 2 years ago, despite Nick Chubb playing most games, and was the running back on pace to be the running back 8 last season in points per game. So we're going to go Kareem Hunt here, get a running back 3. Our running back room is pretty weak, I will say, but to make up for that, everything else on our team is so strong. And we're waiting until the last round to take Zach Wilson, so we're going to have Breece Hall and Zach Wilson both at, I think Zach Wilson is such a ridiculous discount there. I mean, it's not even funny how much of a discount he is there. A guy who at least can run the football. I mean, he's not great at running the football, but 185 yards is fine considering he didn't play the whole season. Although, 50 yards of that was actually on one crazy play. I mean, he can at least get it done on the ground, at least a little bit, so I think he's, fine pick there. But it was really good we did end up with Kareem Hunt, because the wide receivers in this range I don't really like. I mean, Kadarius Toney and Olave are good. Valdez-Scantling, I mean, he's going to be a deep guy. He's going to be getting some passes there, but none of these guys are really guys that I'm targeting this season. Chris Olave I like, but I'm not targeting necessarily. Same thing with Kadarius. I like him, but I'm not targeting him. I'm not actively going out there and trying to draft him above ADP. But I'm glad. I'm really, really glad with how this draft's going. If you guys like this draft, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any best ball or redraft content before your drafts. Football's coming up less than 2 weeks away now. We need to get prepared for our fantasy football drafts. Best way to do that is to draft. Hop online and draft with us. That's really the goal. Get in as many of these drafts as you can. Build as much experience as you can. So that way when you're in the draft room against your friends this season, your draft's probably coming up soon, you can be prepared and know where good value is and how you can get it. That's really the goal at the end of the day, is to scoop up as much good value as you can. So that's what I'm going to do here. And get the best value as you can. And it's so much different on Sleeper, just to talk about difference in league ADP here. The good thing about Underdog, and I'm not sponsored by them, the good thing about Underdog is that these ADPs update in pretty much real time. So, you see Antonio Gibson. He's at ADP of 97 right now. 2 weeks ago, he was at an ADP of 60, 70, it was between 65 and 75. I forget exactly what it was. But now he's plummeted in real time because of the news that he's going to be a kick returner this season. But on an app like Sleeper, that hasn't really been fully accounted for because Sleeper updates much slower. People are more likely to see, Antonio Gibson on the board. Oh, let me just take him. They don't know that he's being relegated to a kick returning role. So because of that, Antonio Gibson is being way overdrafted right now in Sleeper. And you could take advantage of that by taking guys that you know should be going above him. Guys like Kareem Hunt, who is going 5 rounds later on Sleeper. Devin Singletary going 5 rounds later on Sleeper. James Cook going later on Sleeper. Damian Pierce on Sleeper right now is, I think he's pick 112. So you know you can get him in the 90s or something like that. Unless you have crazy smart friends, in which case then you might get sniped on him. But he also, in that case, might be going at 61. And at that point, you're not getting him at a value at all. You're not getting him at close to a value if he's going that high. I mean, that's just stupid. James Cook comes off the board 1 pick before us. Antonio Gibson, not a guy I like. So we're going to be targeting this Jets offense a little bit more here because we already do have Breece Hall. I'm fine taking Garrett Wilson here as well. Romeo Doubs could have been an interesting pick. I imagine he's probably off the board though. By the time we pick next, but if not, I mean, I'll take him there. I'm fine with that. I was thinking about honestly going Antonio Gibson now at this point. I think it's kind of the point. Actually, no, I can't even justify it. I really can't even justify taking him here. Look, why take him at pick 124 when I know he's probably going to be splitting duties? I just can't justify it. Dobbs here, I mean, I'll take Dobbs, honestly, in the next round. Cole Kmet could be interesting as well, just because he'll volume his way up, which is fine. I mean, I'll take that. I don't know, Dobbs feels like a shot in the dark, though. We also do have 2 rookies in a row. I mean, he's been one of the stars of training camp. I would say the 4 stars of training camp are Romeo Doubs. Actually, 3 stars of training camp are Romeo Doubs, Pacheco, and Damian Pierce. These are the 3 guys that I feel like far above the rest have improved their ADPs the most. Most by far. We could honestly take Cole Kmet here and just have 2 really good tight ends and just not have to worry about tight ends. Although I like Dobbs here, I think we could wait on him just because we do have really, really strong wide receivers here. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to do. Ken Walker could also go here. I don't know. Ken Walker could be an interesting pick. Ken Walker does come off the board here. Is he called Ken Walker now? No, it's still Kenneth in this. I'm torn between Komet and Dobbs. We're going to go Dobbs here for the upside, and because I know we can probably get Irv Smith in the next round, or one of these guys in the next round. And because I'm thinking like that, we don't really need Irv Smith to come back week 1. He probably won't be back week 1. Right now he is on the pup. Or not on the pup. He avoided the pup, but he will probably miss the first few weeks of the season. So, I'm fine taking that risk because we have Mark Andrews. If you had a lesser tight end, I'd maybe say no. But I'm completely fine taking that risk because Mark Andrews is an absolute beast. And we could pretty much wait around later to get a guy I view as pretty similar to Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet will have more volume, though. Especially, Irv Smith does have to compete for a fair amount of targets in this offense. I mean, Justin Jefferson, obviously, going to be a huge target hog this upcoming season. Adam Thielen, 32 years old, but should still command some volume, especially touchdown targets here. And KJ Osborne's a guy who's been getting a pretty fair amount of hype. I don't know where he's going drafted right now. I feel like 160s makes sense. 150s. Yeah, 145. Wow, that's pretty higher. That's higher than I expected. But it does make sense when you think about KJ Osborne and his overall ceiling. Especially Adam Thielen, 32 years old. I mean, if he does go down, this whole offense looks better as a result. And this isn't even factoring in Dalvin Cook. The Kevin O'Connell offense and the offensive scheme overall has been hyped up so much. I do think it's warranted. I mean, coming from the Rams system, Sean McVay absolutely praised this guy. He loves him. But at the same time, I mean, he hasn't called he hasn't been a coach yet. It is a little nervous seeing these rookie head coaches coming in. You got to start somewhere, of course, but I mean, we've never seen him be a head coach yet, so I think there's pros, there's cons. Pacheco coming off the board at 130. Is that his AP now? Oh my God, it is 139. Wow. Damian Pierce. Also, just to go back to Damian Pierce, there's just no way this guy could be of value. Vinny M. Let me just see where his ADP is now. 87, and that's only going to continue to rise. I mean, realistically, yeah, he's going to be a starting running back, but he's going to be a starting running back for the Houston Texans. I mean, this is a guy who might finish as a top 24 running back. I mean, I don't see him finishing over a guy like A.J. Dillon. 87.4 puts him ahead of Miles Sanders, who I actually do think he should probably be ahead of Sanders. Kareem Hunt, I wouldn't take him over. I wouldn't take him over Clyde. I wouldn't take him over Chase Edmonds. Wouldn't take him over Pollard. Actually, maybe now with the Tyron Smith injury, I could consider taking him over Pollard, but I still probably wouldn't. I still think it's probably them. Oh my God, Cole Kmet's still on the board, actually. And Gainwell also still on the board here. Could be an interesting pick for Gainwell. Might play Saturday. I'm actually really shocked here. I mean, this guy doesn't have a tight end, so I'm assuming he goes tight end here. He does. We get sniped on Cole Kmet. And all these guys, I'm not going to take the risk here. Gonna take Irv Smith. I think that's the right move. I'm going to take Irv Smith. And then I'm probably going to take Kenny Gainwell here. Or not Gainwell. I mean, if Gainwell makes it back to us, I'll take Gainwell because he is a touchdown guy. But also, I do really like Khalil Herbert here. I think Khalil Herbert is a guy that will be getting tons and tons of snaps if the main guy goes down. The main guy being David Montgomery. And he could have some standalone value. I've been seeing more and more, or hearing more and more rumors that this could be a split backfield this season. And if that's the case, I think Khalil Herbert presents himself as a pretty massive value. Like, why would you take David Montgomery when you could just take Khalil Herbert 20,000 rounds later, pretty much? Tyler Algier would be another decent pick here, but Kenneth Gainwell's still on the board. I'm a little bit surprised. He comes off now. So we're going to grab our fourth back, and then we pretty much just need to hammer these wide receivers. Maybe we do take 5 running backs here. I think that's probably smart, actually. We probably should. James Robinson, a guy trending upwards. He's projected 121 points. He's coming off a torn Achilles, but, I mean, if he does get any standalone workload, he's proven that he could be a good running back at the NFL level. over a pretty long sample size for one. And two, if Travis Etienne goes down, which he already did have a low strength injury that pretty much ended his last season, I think James Robinson is a good pick here. We're going to go with Khalil Herbert because I think the upside with Khalil Herbert's a little stronger. Because Khalil Herbert was such a beast last season. Even playing against really, really strong defenses like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he was really, really good last season when he played. I mean, he actually looked fabulous. So we're going to take him here. Christian Watson and KJ Hamler. We're going to be getting probably 3 Green Bay wide receivers then, which is crazy to me. So I think one of these two guys will still be on the board. I like KJ Hamler just because he's going to be a deep bomb guy. I mean, he'll get some work in the deep bomb game, and that's good enough for me when we already have really, really good wide receiving core. Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill, both guys that can drop 50. Allen Lazard should be a touchdown machine. I love this team, honestly. I love this team. We also have a really, really good tight end. Our running backs, tiny bit concerned about, but not really. Like, realistically, if Breece Hall decides to be what Breece Hall is what Breece Hall, we think Breece Hall can be, he should be phenomenal here. And then we are going to be getting Zach Wilson, and we're not going to take a risk on getting him because we do have some stacks at play here, so we're probably going to take him at 196. I'm more than fine with that here. And then if Garrett Wilson pops off one day, if Breece Hall pops off, we're going to be reaping the benefits from Zach Wilson. I mean, if Michael Carter goes down, I don't even really think it does that much because I don't think Michael Carter is going to be that involved realistically. He'll still get some work, but I don't think he has any standalone value in this offense. Tyler Algier still on the board, notably. We got 3 tight ends coming off the board, so it probably is a good thing. Oh, AJ Green, what a bad pick. So it probably is a good thing we ended up getting Irv Smith here. And Hunter Henry went the pick after, so yeah, I'm really fine getting Irv. KJ Hamler coming off the board. 5 picks after his ADP. ADP has been pretty much not cared about in this draft by many people here, which kind of makes sense. We got Algier still on the board, though, which probably isn't going to last. Raheem Mostert, you're bugging, my boy. You're bugging. Isaiah Spiller, also bugging. I can't believe James Cook went that far behind ADP as well. I mean, I gladly would have taken him. Where'd he go? 116. 2 picks before Antonio Gibson. I mean, I gladly would have taken him instead of Garrett Wilson. Here we are going to go Algier, though. We're going to stack up on these rookies. We got rooks on rooks here. We got rooks on rooks. Take Nikko Collins here in the next round, potentially. I don't want Zamir White at all. Guy's not a receiving back in the slightest. Why would I want somebody who's going to be in a committee, most likely, at best, and not getting any receiving work? I don't understand that. I want somebody who can catch passes and take over in that 3-down role if the starter were to go down. We got Nikko Collins still on the board. What is this? Almost 30 picks behind ADP now. 25 at this point. Behind ADP, or 25 once he gets to my pick. That's crazy. I think I would have to take him here. Wide receiver 2. In his offense, I mean, he'll have to get volume pretty much. He's competing against Brevin Jordan. He does come off the board here, though. We'll probably go Alec Pierce here then. If he's still on the board. If not, Kenny Golladay is a fine pick. Yeah, I don't even really want Kenny Golladay, though, as a Giants fan. Which is kind of sad. But really all we need is wide receivers. I mean, wow. This stinks. There's nobody I want here. We're going to go Paris Campbell. We're going to go Paris Campbell begrudgingly. I'm going to go Paris Campbell and be mad about it. That's pretty annoying. I would have taken these 2 guys over Paris Campbell personally because Pierce is getting 1's reps. Paris Campbell is playing with the 2s here. But I still do like Paris Campbell. I think he's a fine pick. We do have a lot of Week 14 buys, which is pretty funny. Who cares about that, though? We are in a position where we could potentially take... No, we can't take 3 quarterbacks, actually. We took 5 running backs here. We are in a position where we could start to go after some of these guys here. pretty large wide receiver run coming off the board. Marvin Jones, Jameson Williams, Nikko Collins, Pierce, Evan Ingram coming off the board as well. A guy who can have 1 or 2 weeks at tight end. But I really, really like this team. Let me know what you guys think about this team down below in the comments. I know it's probably a pretty crazy team here. Going running back late, not getting our running back 2 until pick 93 here. I mean, that's a little bit concerning. But this running back room, I really like. I think Chase Edmonds has the ability to absolutely feast this year. I think he could legitimately be an RB1. I know that sounds crazy, but I think he'll finish as an RB1 this season. So I'm really, really happy we got him here. And we have Lamar and Mark Andrews. That's a really good tight end quarterback combo because these are both one-off positions. So when you think about it, right? So let's say I have Jamar Chase, Tyreek. They go off. And then Mark Andrews goes off, which automatically means Lamar will go off, which gives us really, really high upside for Week 17. And this team, I honestly think will make it there, just because of how talented this roster is. Tyreek Hill's an absolute beast. We do have a lot of this Miami offense, too. Maybe I should have gotten a Miami stack instead, but Tua costs a lot more than... Tua costs a lot more than Tua. Tua costs a lot more than Tua? What the hell am I saying? Zach Wilson costs a lot less than Tua. Tua costs, I would be taking him over a guy like Romeo Doubs, whereas Zach Wilson, I'll be taking him over a guy like, I don't know, David Duvernay, over David Bell. These are not guys I'm particularly worried about. There are still a lot of quarterbacks on the board. I mean, if you notice, the quarterback 22 is still on the board here. So I actually was saying that I would probably take Zach Wilson at 196, and not take the risk that he's going to be there. But if there's going to be this many good quarterbacks on the board here, or quarterbacks that I could viably start as my quarterback 2, I'm fine with that then. Like a Ryan Tannehill, a Baker Mayfield, a Jared Goff, I would be fine starting all of these guys. Mac Jones, I mean, it would stink starting these guys realistically, because, you know, they're not good. And they don't provide stacks for me, but Zach Wilson's behind all these guys. Because Zach Wilson won't play, he's waiting comfortably until the week of New York season. Yeah, like honestly, this 4-week, I mean, he probably will. Brevin Jordan coming off the board here. Noah Fant as well. All right, so we need wide receivers here. We are going to be taking. We're going to be taking Peoples here. Peoples, I like Peoples. Okay, so we'll take Peoples here. Even though we are reaching on him a bit, he will be the wide receiver 2 in this offense, which is fine, I guess. You know, for one, it's fine. We take a flyer because when Deshaun Watson comes back, Donovan Peoples-Jones will hopefully be pretty good in this role that he's going to provide to our team here. I might have a boom week, and that's pretty much the hope. Because it's like the last round. Like, why not draft a guy who has that upside in the last round? I mean, Jameson Crowder, not the starter. Not the starting slot guy in this offense, so I can't really take him. Devin Duvernay I'm fine with as well. And then we are going to take Zach Wilson here in the last round. But that'll be pretty much it from me. I'm just going to hop off after I take Devin Duvernay. But as always, just before I do, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It does mean the world to me. I love doing this. It's so much fun. And I really hope I can help you guys win your fantasy drafts here. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much. We're going to take Devin Duvernay here, and I'm going to call it a day. Thank you guys again so much for watching. It really does mean the world to me. Please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It makes my day. Every subscriber, every comment I see, really does brighten up my day. So thank you guys so much. Have a good day, a good night, and a good life.